Uh-oh. Oh. So you will notice what's going on. And actually, you will be able to, at times, do something in those moments that you would have never thought about doing before. You will see opportunities to be of service that you would never have noticed before, just because. So in other words, by focusing on the breath and focusing on the thing that you are doing right now, it just seems to open up the entire world. You become very aware of what's going on in the world. So then we got the driving. So walk around for a little while, and then you're going to get in your car, you got to go somewhere. You got to drive. So you get in your car, you start moving out. I don't know, I move out of the parking lot, I get on the street, and I say to myself, this is the thing that I say to myself every time I drive. I shouldn't say every time I remember. Every time I remember, I say, I am in the flow of traffic. I am in the flow of traffic. So I start driving down the street and I feel like I am in the, I focus on the fact that I am in the flow of traffic. There's nothing to worry about. Even if I'm on a schedule and I got to get somewhere in a certain, even if I seem to be late, to just relax and say, I am in the flow of traffic. I don't have to ride up on somebody. I don't have to get up. I don't have to start cutting in and out of traffic. Although sometimes when we get really relaxed, we can find a way to flow through the traffic like you just can't even believe it. Everything's just happening. We're just flowing through the traffic. If anybody gets in front of us, it's okay. We know. Here's the thing we have to know. We're on a mission. We've got our own little mission in our mind. We've got our own little thing that we got a little project for the day. We got some goals for the day. We're going to go and do these various things. But we're on a bigger mission than that. And that mission that we're on is to be of service, to extend love. I mean, this always needs to be, like in the forefront of our mind, that we're trying to look for ways to be of service. There are many ways to be of service as we're driving. One of the main ones is not yelling at the other drivers. Not making funny gestures. Now just driving, and then there's another way of while we're driving, of facilitating, is that when you get to you want to always try to make it so the guy behind you makes it through the light too. Think about that. You want that guy to be able to get through the light too. Not just you, you want him to be able to get through the light too. So we're thinking about facilitating the flow of traffic. Then we're going to work. Got to go to work. Most of us have to go to work. When we get to work, this is, okay, so being mindful. How many times have you pulled in the parking lot at work or wherever it is that you're going to work, you pull in, you park, you go to do, and you didn't notice a thing that happened the whole time from sometimes when you get there, you will realize that you didn't notice a thing that happened on the whole drive over there. You can't hardly remember half of it. And you go into the thing and you start doing whatever it is that you start doing, and you didn't notice anything around you as you were doing it. Just automatic behavior, just moving from one place to another. And you may not have even noticed other people who you passed. Sometimes, you're saying, you're nodding, you're grunting, you're, saying some short thing to somebody. Well, here's what I'm going to suggest. When you pull up to work, this is Liz Hogue told me this many years ago. She said, when you pull up to work, love the building. Sit there in your car and love the building. Just extend love to the building. And as you walk into the building, start loving the room that you are in, the hallway that you are in. Each person that you see, extend love to them and also a greeting. Be the first one to smile and say good morning or hello, or be the first one. Smile. Hello. Good morning. How you doing? Be the first one. Extend love. See, that's an outer demonstration of the inner reality of the love, but be paying attention to each person and each thing that you pass. Extend love to whatever it is that you see. This is mindfulness, and it's amazing when this is done how much clarity comes into the mind. And the little distractions and all those mind-wandering things seem to fade away as we pay attention to what's going on. And then sometime during the day, we're going to have a meeting of some kind. A lot of times it happens. We're going to have a meeting of some kind. We're going to gather together with somebody. And many times the meetings that we have are not that pleasant because there's problems. There's issues going on. We may have a meeting with a customer. We may have a meeting with a boss. We may have a meeting with other people who work there. And or there may just, you know what, if we have a job where we actually don't go into meetings, but during the day we interact with other people on the job, that's also a meeting. We may be having some personality conflicts with some of the people that we meet every day. And so before we go into the meeting, we love the idea, the opportunity that we are going to come together with our brothers and sisters. We enter into the room wherever it is that we are going into, and we extend that love into the room. Any problems, any issues that are on the docket, anything that's on the agenda, the things that need to be taken care of, we extend love to those things. We're just paying attention to what's going on. And this is the thing. Many times when we have meetings with people, there's some issues that cause anxiety, worry, really other, just aspects of fear. If we give love to it, the fear cannot stay. I'm not saying it's not coming back, but it just cannot stay. So we give love to the issues, and we keep giving love anytime anxiety comes. It's just the same thing. It's paying attention. It's being mindful. The fears that come are distractions. They're the same kind of distractions as the siren of going by. It's the same kind of distraction of somebody coming in the middle of the meditation. It's good. The distraction is good because it allows us to practice, to not worry about it, to let it go. It's not a thing. So, mindfulness while shopping. We go shopping. Got to go to the grocery store. We go in the grocery store and don't go to the grocery store hungry. I just threw that in there. Go to the grocery store and we're on our thing. We got our list or whatever. We should have a list. If we don't have a list, then we really get in trouble. But we got a list, right? And I was just looking at my list. I want to get this stuff and that stuff and this and that. I'm not saying not to get the stuff on your list. But what I am saying is to pay attention to what's going on around you. You get an opportunity here when you go shopping. You get an opportunity to do the walking meditation, paying attention as you're moving your body through the air. You get an opportunity to do the meeting meditation, in that you're going to interact with people. I know it seems a lot easier not to interact with anybody. I'm not even going to look at them. I'm just trying to get my stuff in my cart. I want to be looking at all these people. All these people, they distract me from my mission. Those people are my mission. I need to be paying attention to those people. Even if it's just to acknowledge them, that they're there, that they're people, right? They're part of this web of life that I am a part of. And so then there's the waiting meditation. I'm waiting. I gotta wait. I'm waiting for an appointment. I got an appointment and I'm sitting in the reception area and I'm waiting. And I've been waiting for some time. I actually been waiting too long. And it's starting to irritate me. What's the matter with these people? I mean, shoot, didn't we say it was 10 o'clock that we were going to have the meeting? What happened? It's really, and this was something I was taught years ago, that when you have a meeting, when you call a meeting, that you're supposed to start on time and end on time, right? So from my perspective, now see here, this is a good thing. When I call a meeting, when I have an appointment, I want to be there on time and I want to start on time, right? Because it shows respect for the time of the other people. It shows some seriousness. It shows that you really, that you respect the other people who are called to the meeting, and just the fact that there's other things that have to be done. So that's a really good thing for us to focus on when we set meetings. However, it is not a good thing to focus on when other people set meetings and they don't show up on time, because it turns into a huge distraction from what you're there for. It turns into a resentment. It turns into a very unpleasant experience. Look at what's going on. If you're waiting, it's just another opportunity to meditate. It's just another opportunity to focus on your breath. It's just another opportunity to get quiet and put your attention on what's important. And I had a minister once many years ago, and he used to say, you got a divine appointment every day. You got a divine appointment. Whether they seem to be late or not, they're actually getting there on time. They're actually getting there when they're supposed to get there. And so that's the idea. The divine appointment is whenever they get there, be divine, right? Whenever they get there, extend courtesy, extend goodwill, whatever that happens to be. Waiting. Oh, wait, we were back at the grocery store when we were shopping. We were shopping and we got our stuff in the cart, and then we go to the line and there's big long lines at the grocery store. Oh, some of you have heard me talk about this before. There's long lines at the grocery store, and the first thought is, you got people standing around over there. Why don't you open up some more lanes here so that I could get my groceries home? And then there'd be somebody in front of you who's got, I don't know, like a WIC card or some kind of food stamp card or something like that, and the line says no WIC cards, no food stamp, and this, and you go, can't they read? Or somebody's just having problems in the line, and impatience and irritation jumps up. These are all just distractions. And you remember what we were talking about at the beginning, when these thoughts come to mind, after you've been practicing this for a while, you get irritated with yourself when you're sitting in the chair and thoughts come to mind and you say, after all this time, I still can't get my mind quiet for 5 minutes. That is counterproductive. But that distraction, the distraction of judging ourselves in the midst of a distraction, just adds to the problem. And so all of these little judgments that we're making about the people in front of us in line who are holding up progress, they're the same thing. We don't need to feeling guilty about it. Just all that does is reinforces that characteristic in us. So we think of ourselves as that's just the kind of people we are, right? We're judgmental. We're impatient. As soon as a distraction comes, just breathe. Let it go. You'll notice the next time, everybody here is going to notice it. The next time that you're impatient, standing in a line in the grocery store, you're going to remember this moment right now. And just check yourself. See how well you're breathing. You find you're holding your breath. So to pay attention. The thought for the day. That's why I wrote it down. The thought for the day. This is the thing that is going to help us throughout the day, to be mindful about the thought for the day. To say, okay, I've gotten myself off track. Here I am, I'm all worked up, I'm worried about this, that, and the other thing, and I've just totally what was the thought for the day? I forgot. I mean, really, I forgot. I sat there for 10 minutes. I sat there for 20 minutes. I sat there and went through this whole thought for the day, and I cannot remember for the life of me. But you know what? It just so happens that I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I've got it right here. Let me look at it. every day, if we write the thought for the day on a piece of paper and pull it out when we need it, pull it out of our purse, pull it out of our pocket, take a look, change the total mood, change the total picture. These are everything I've talked about this morning. These are choices that we make. Our mind is trying to, our small mind is trying to distract us from peace. If we establish peace of mind, that does not mean that being a person who is a center of peace, being a person who is at peace, does not mean that we are just sitting around all day, cross-legged on a pillow on the floor. Being a center of peace, we can do everything that we need to do. All things that have to get done, I'm talking about the practical things of the material world. All of these things can get done, but they can get done in such a way that they lead us further and further along this path that we are traveling on, rather than putting us in a situation where we're suffering. And it appears when we're suffering that we are contributing to the suffering of others, which causes us more suffering. Guilt, and more guilt. I was thinking about this, that got all this guilt that really is the cause of so much of our suffering. Much of it is we don't even know about it. And so if you think about being mindful of all those thoughts, all those regret thoughts, all those resentment thoughts that come to mind, and be able to apply this principle of quietness, of peace, of extending love to those thoughts. Acknowledge that they're there, because denial just going to make it worse later. Just acknowledge that they're there. Let them go. They're just a leaf falling off the tree, settling onto that stream that's flowing in front of you. You don't have to jump in the water to grab it. Just let it go. Just let them flow on down the stream. The meditation. This is the vision that we want to hold. The vision that we want to hold is not that we are separate bodies sitting in a room, inside a building, on a street, in a town, in a state. That even though all those things appear, this whole picture, if you can just allow your mind for a minute to just move out like waves, that if that's true, you're a body, and all of these other things, all the way out to a supposedly infinite universe, that all of that is outside. And all of it is impinging upon you. I mean, it's like, and also, think about that picture of how tiny then. That's not a bad thing. Humility is not a bad thing. But you think about how tiny then, right? But turn it around the other way. And walk around with this picture that everything that you observe, and everything that you can't observe because it's out of your body's eyesight, is actually inside of you. It's all in your mind. And I mean that it is psychosomatic, but I mean it in a bigger way. It's all in your mind. The world you see is in your mind. The world I see is in my mind. But really what's going on is that I am a mind. I am not a body. I am a mind, part of the mind of God. And what I'm trying to do by this practice of mindfulness is to totally remember what that's like. That hasn't happened yet. And that's why every day I sit in a chair and don't do anything. That's enough. Marley, do we have to record that later? It's going to be totally different. All right, that's fine.